Happiness often feels like something we have to chase, like it's always just around the corner, waiting for that next promotion, that perfect relationship, or that big purchase. But sometimes, it's not about what we don't have. It's about what we're carrying with us every day that's silently weighing us down. There are things we do, think, and allow into our lives that quietly drain our joy without us even realizing it. And the tricky part is, these things often become so routine that they blend into the background of our daily lives. They feel normal, they feel harmless, but over time they chip away at our sense of contentment. Today, we're going to pull those hidden culprits into the light. 11 things that might be secretly making you unhappy, even if you think you've got life under control. The first is comparing yourself to others. In a world of constant updates, curated photos, and highlight reels, it's easy to measure your life against someone else's filtered version of theirs. But comparison is a silent thief. It distracts you from appreciating your own progress, your own wins, your own story. Instead of enjoying what you've built, you find yourself feeling inadequate because someone else's journey looks shinier. The truth is, you're not supposed to be where they are. You're supposed to be exactly where you are. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, life begins to feel lighter. Second is holding on to grudges. You might think resentment keeps you safe, that it's a form of protection against being hurt again. But grudges aren't shields, they're chains. Every time you replay the hurt in your mind, you relive it. You keep the wound open. Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you're choosing to stop letting it poison your peace. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person suffers, when in reality, you're the one paying the price. The third is living for the approval of others. When you base your decisions on what will make other people happy, you start to lose sight of what truly matters to you. You can wear the clothes they like, follow the career they respect, live the lifestyle they admire, and still feel empty inside. Approval is temporary. Someone else's opinion can change in a second. But when you choose a life that aligns with your values, your happiness becomes something no one can take away. Fourth is saying yes when you mean no. Every time you agree to something you don't actually want to do, you're trading your own needs for someone else's comfort. This isn't kindness, it's self-abandonment. You end up feeling drained, resentful, and spread too thin. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're an act of self-respect. Saying no to what drains you makes space for the things that actually light you up. The fifth is dwelling on the past. Reflection is healthy. It helps you learn and grow. But living in the past traps you in moments that no longer exist. Whether it's regret over what you didn't do or nostalgia for what you've lost, the past can keep you from fully showing up in the present. Life is happening right now, not back then. The more time you spend staring in the rearview mirror, the more you miss the road ahead. Sixth is neglecting your health. It's easy to underestimate how much your physical well-being affects your emotional state. Poor sleep, lack of movement, unhealthy eating habits, they don't just affect your body. They weigh on your mood, your focus, and your energy. Sometimes what feels like a lack of motivation or joy is simply your body asking for care. When you nourish yourself physically and mentally, happiness has room to grow. The seventh is surrounding yourself with negativity. This could be toxic relationships, environments filled with constant criticism, or even the media you consume. Negativity is contagious. Spend enough time in it, and you start to believe the world is darker than it really is. Protecting your peace means being intentional about what and who you allow into your space. When you choose to be around people who uplift and inspire you, your outlook naturally shifts. Eighth is perfectionism. Striving for excellence can push you to grow, but perfectionism is a trap that convinces you nothing you do is ever good enough. You could hit every milestone, check every box, and still feel unsatisfied because your standards are impossibly high. Perfection isn't achievable, it's an illusion, and chasing it robs you of the joy of progress. Learning to appreciate your efforts, even when they're not flawless, frees you from constant disappointment. The ninth is ignoring your passions. When you put all your time and energy into responsibilities but never make space for what makes you feel alive, life starts to feel flat. Passions are not luxuries. They're necessities for a fulfilling life. Whether it's painting, writing, hiking, cooking, or building something with your hands, these activities connect you to joy in its purest form. When you ignore them, you deny yourself one of life's most reliable sources of happiness. 10th is resisting change. Change can be uncomfortable, even frightening, but it's also the only way we grow. Holding on to the familiar, even when it no longer serves you, can keep you stuck in unhappiness. The longer you stay in situations that have expired, the heavier life feels. Embracing change doesn't mean it will always be easy. It means you trust yourself enough to move forward into something better. And the 11th is forgetting to be present. We spend so much time planning for the future or replaying the past that we forget to actually live in the moment. Happiness often hides in the small details, the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of your favorite meal. But you can't experience them if your mind is somewhere else. Presence is where joy lives, and when you train yourself to slow down and actually see the life happening in front of you, happiness stops feeling so elusive. The truth is, unhappiness doesn't always come from big dramatic events. More often, it's the accumulation of small, quiet habits, thoughts, and choices that weigh us down over time. These 11 things can hide in plain sight, making you feel like something is missing without you even knowing why. But the moment you recognize them, you take back your power. You can let go of comparison and resentment. You can set boundaries, care for yourself, and surround yourself with people who lift you higher. You can stop chasing perfection and start embracing what's real. And when you do, happiness stops being something you have to chase. It becomes something you carry with you wherever you go.